In this episode, we sail Keeldragger, a Pacific Seacraft Dana 24, from Dana Point, California to Ensenada, Mexico. The plan is to deliver Keeldragger to Ensenada, so we can have some projects and upgrades done at Baja Naval. The projects include new bottom paint, refinishing the exterior brightwork with Cetal, installing a custom propane locker, replacing the cutlass bearing, installing a new maintenance kit for the dripless shaft seal, and servicing a stiff seas through hull for the holding tank pump out. The journey consisted of 3 legs. The first leg was from Dana Point to Oceanside, then from Oceanside to San Diego, California, and last from San Diego to Ensenada, Mexico. I wound up doing the first 2 legs to San Diego single-handed. Then, my good friend Katie, who sails Cal 27-2 in Southern California, joined me for the trip from San Diego to Ensenada. Okay, it's December 30th, 2017. I am in the Jeep. It's packed. Getting ready to start my 3rd sailing trip of the year to Ensenada. I'm gonna do this in 3 legs. Could do it in 1, but I'd say it's about 28 hours from Dana Point, making the slow speeds that I make. Probably about 134 nautical miles, give or take, maybe a hair longer than that from Dana Point. So my chart plotter, my Garmin chart plotter lost its satellite signals, or it kept doing that. Now my radar's got the same problem. So that's no good. So I'm down 2 chart plotters. That's gonna get expensive. I do have charts on both of my phones as well, on 2 phones with chart with the NOAA charts all loaded, at least for this area. And I have what else do I have? I've got 2 Garmin handhelds, so I won't have any problem finding my way, but there's some fog out here, and that's a little bit more concerning. And I'm not going to listen to this beeping all day. I see my friends aboard the USS. Sorry about your penis. Oh, can't see that boat going out there, but there's people going out in this fog on a whale watching trip. Wonder how that's going to work out for them. 11:15 update. Heading about 3 miles offshore right now. Heading south to Oceanside. Just saw a single lone dolphin somewhere around here. May have peeled off. Okay, it's 20 till 1 p.m. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Well, for starters, we're reaching towards Oceanside. The engine was shut off about 5 minutes ago, so we got a little bit of wind. See a little bit of the white caps on the water. So not a lot of wind, but this is super peaceful, and I can't tell you how happy I am to shut that damn engine off for a little while. I'm glad that it works when I need it, but this is super nice. old chart plotter has been crapping out on me. I think it's the external GPS. It's a Garmin GPS 17N. External GPS mounted up on top of the radar bar up there. So it's been working fine. I rebooted it a couple of times earlier, and it's working well now. So I'm making just about 5 or a hair under knots speed over ground. So I'm pretty happy with that under sail. We've got 8.2 miles to go to Oceanside. That's really as the crow flies. So I'm gonna have to tack or jibe over to port at some point. So we're not quite hitting lines that I want to hit. I want to tack in a little bit, but making this kind of speed without the engine running is pretty all right with me.
Primary down.
So now I'm dodging kelp. Saw a couple of massive spots of kelp. I had to take evasive action. There's some that's just a little piece. Got more coming up here. Looks like these dolphins are charging over here. Looks like a sea lion chasing. Look at the last one following those dolphins. That is a seal chasing dolphins. Holy shit, that is awesome. Now just about perfect timing today. It's 13 till 3 p.m. A little bit more boat activity today out of Oceanside. This is the entrance. All right, I'm all tied up. All I have to do now is do the after hours check-in. Stick a check in there and I'm done. Unlike these guys here, they're getting a tow in. Looks like no fun. Good morning. It's December 31st, Sunday. It's about 10 after 4 a.m. Just woke up a few minutes ago. Might be a little bit of fog out there. Looks okay as far as what I can tell. My plan is to try and head out here pretty soon. So I'll get up and walk around at least and survey and see how things look out there. Might leave a little bit closer to 5 a.m. and head down to San Diego. So things are pretty quiet. The sea lions mostly quieted down, and by about 9 o'clock they were super loud at the end of the dock here. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. So should be okay today. I think. I hope. Hopefully not too much fog. But as long as the radar's working, we'll be going slow anyways. So just keep an eye out. So we'll see. There's the Oceanside light. All right, it's about 20 minutes to official sunrise. It's 6:35 a.m. right now. Off of Carlsbad. So there's the power plant. You can see the tower there. Oceanside is back there. So been at it for an hour and a half steaming. Keep seeing a little bit of wind coming from the east. Now that it's lighting up a little bit, I'll probably will put up the main. Not enough wind to get me to San Diego the time I need to make. So unlike yesterday, I don't think I'm going to get to do as much sailing, at least not to start off with. But and I don't expect this wind to be coming out of the east all day either. So we'll see what happens. So let's take a look and see how fast we're going. Nothing on radar, looks pretty good. Speed over ground, busting 4.9 knots. Wind whipping out my coat. You can't stop me, motherfucker, because I'm on a boat. Alright, 7:45. Got some wind coming out of the east over here, which is super sweet because the engine's off, the boat's steering itself, making 4 knots. So as long as I'm making 4 knots ish, then we'll keep sailing. Just about 9:30 a.m. Quick update. The wind has died. There's fog, so visibility's down. So I'm back to motoring. Got the main up. I'm gonna figure out what that is. Best as I can guess, sea lions resting on their backs because I don't think they're birds. 9:30. So thought I'd talk a little bit more about where I'm at right now. So that's La Jolla. I'm about 3 miles offshore. It's about as close as I want to get because I keep seeing little patches of kelp even out here. Another dolphin over here just skulking through the water. Here we go. Finally, some social dolphins. At least they came by to say hello. Oh, still off the bow. Couple out there. A couple of them. Beautiful. The third one over on the starboard. p.m. Making the approach into San Diego. There's Point Loma. See the jetties over there. There's buoys out there. Engines off. We're gonna sail in as far as we can. Pretty much every Hunter sailboat I've ever seen. Fenders out. They're moving though. Making pretty good speed. Little traffic in the channel today. All right, there's the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Inspection Dock. That's where you have to pull in when you come back in from Mexico. On the other side of this are the police guest docks. Plus there's a pump out station here. Just fueled up at Pearson Green Fuel Dock. Took on a whopping 3.7 gallons worth of diesel. I'm amazed that I only burned that much coming down from Dana Point. Probably sailed out of 68 miles, probably sailed 15, 18 tops, so that was mostly motoring. Some monster boats here. Somebody's getting towed in. That's no fun. Okay, it's Friday, January 5th. It's getting ready to be go time to go to Ensenada. Looks like we're going to have some wind. Might have some gusts into the mid-20s later today. So 15 plus knots of wind, but it's going to be coming out of the northwest primarily, I believe. So from a wind direction standpoint, everything like that should be really good sailing later this afternoon. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So we'll see how that goes. But right now it's like 10 to 4 a.m. I've got the coffee on the propane grill. Next time I'm hoping to actually have this working, so when we get the new propane locker in and everything like that, get that all rigged up, then we'll be good on propane. Actually cook some real coffee. It'll be a little easier. All right, it's 7:23, so we've been rolling for a couple of hours. We're pretty close to the Mexican border. We may have crossed it already. You can see a ship anchored out there. That's Point Loma. That ship was just coming out and anchoring when we got here, and then this ship also was anchored. So that's a big Maersk tug. Pretty big ship. So just had sunrise a little while ago. If you look really closely out there, you can see the Las Coronadas Islands. So we're going to shoot in between Mexico and the Las Coronadas Islands, and we'll just kind of stay a few miles off the coast and continue to head south down towards Ensenada.
And they look interesting. Their fins look different.
Well, since you're the expert,
Those are pilot whales or something. Those aren't dolphins. They were too dark.
ow.
See that? Like they're
Yeah.
spotted. I don't know. Damn, I didn't bring my fucking mammal.
All right, 9:30 update. So we've been out for what, a little over 4 hours at this point. We're past the Las Coronadas Islands. You see those behind me, and there is the coast of Mexico. I think that's Playas de Tijuana, and then Rosarito is going to be a little bit further that way. And we've got a few. Ooh, look at that kelp. More dolphins over here. These guys are racing over. Weird. I've been seeing dolphins for quite a while now, and this is the first group that actually came by. You see them jumping kind of all around at a distance, and these guys are hanging with me. Large tanker anchored there, under sail now. Main only. Figure out what we're doing with the head sail. I mean, running pretty deep here, so. Probably stay on this heading for a while, see what kind of speed we do, and then we need to put out a little head sail. But it's looking good. This is the almost 12:30 check-in. So we have 13 and a half nautical miles before we turn into Bahia de Todos Santos. So we're sailing under Maine alone right now. The wind at our back. We're doing between 5 and 5.5 knots. And we've been sailing like this for a little over 2 hours now, so the sailing's been perfect. Been debating whether to change the sail configuration, but really happy with how things feel right now. Gonna fire up the engine for a little bit just to keep the batteries topped off, and that's it. We're gonna throw in just a single reef for right now, just settle it down a little bit. The one thing that I forgot is the topping lift has to be loosened. We've got dolphins on the bow too while we're doing this, which is awesome. So Katie, when you're, do you see the topping lift there on the side?
I see alcohol.
Are there two? Are there only one? One should be topping lift. Try easing that and see what it does.
How's that?
That looks pretty good. Yeah. There's a dolphin right there, by the way.
All around us.
Yeah, there's a. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, spinner, common dolphins.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take her off the wind, and then pull on that reefing line one more time.
Yep.
coming.
Vicinity of 32 degrees, 41 knots north, 117.
Alright, so I'm gonna put this down. Fucking around for a minute. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so it's 1:30, a little bit easier motion right now. So we finished putting a single reef in the main. We're still doing 5 knots, so I'm pretty happy with where we're at. We've got about 8 miles before we start to hang left a little bit. So maybe you can see under the boom. There's the point. We'll get down there and then we'll start to turn left a little bit. Katie's up front, watching the dolphins, which I guess are all over the place. What's that? 7? Up a bunch of spray straight up, or there's a whale over there. About 10 o'clock. There it is. See that?
No, where are you looking?
Straight over there. There it is.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. You know what? Let's just put the preventer on and shake out the reef.
You can just grab one of those lines there and use it as a preventer since we don't have one.
Okay. A mile.
All right. Looking for another whale that was sighted. So I don't know if this is kind of come on the video. So sunfish, huh?
Yeah, they have another name.
That was a huge fish. Holy crap.
They're like weird looking too. They're like flat.
Like a huge body, but not like a super big mouth.
They're like flat.
Wow. I mean, it was right next to us. We were going past it. And I was like, what the hell is that? I knew it was marine life.
Yeah, you know, they've been seeing them up in, there's another name for them. They've been seeing them in Alaska occasionally.
10 after 4. We're motor sailing now just to keep the batteries topped off. We're running radar and everything as we start to enter Bahia de Todos Santos. Surfing down waves, so we're doing about 6 knots. PM update. Accidental jibe, took a wind shift. Wind shifted a bit. We get some pretty good waves behind our stern, surfing around a little bit, knocking us about. So Katie's up there rigging a preventer a little bit better because the preventer actually popped off the midship cleat when we run the spring lines. So she's re-rigging that, but we've since jibed and not particularly happy with the shape of the main, but it's good enough. Feels pretty good right now. We're not even dead downwind anymore. We were there briefly. All right, so what time is it? 6:10. So we're close to 3 hours better than our goal time. All right, coming into Ensenada Harbor, and we're trying to figure out what this big ass boat is that's coming out. Might be a cruise ship. So they're coming out, we're coming in.
Oh my God, we drink so much.
So, Carnival and Imagination. So that, I've probably seen that boat, you know, half a dozen times in the last year and a half. Yeah, I mean, we're at idle.
Okay,
so
perfect.
It'll still keep us pointed in the right direction, but
Well, they're just gonna
so Carnival Imagination, and then there's a second cruise ship coming out at the same time. So we're trying to stay the hell out of the way. There's the World Odyssey cruise ship. Carnival Inspiration. They're practicing the lifeboat drills.
All those fucking cords
Yeah, these are all. So they must have launched all the lifeboats and have to check them out. All right, you can do it again. One more, that's all I ask. One more, you got it, go. You got